Hey, welcome to Beyond Synth Fundamentals. Today, what we're going to be doing is deriving 3 different tunings. So 12-tone equal temperament, 3-limit tuning, which is Pythagorean tuning, and then 5-limit tuning. So we want A, and then A sharp, B flat. I'm going to just fast forward through all this so that you don't have to watch the whole thing. So we'll just be using 440 for A because it's a very common reference. So octave above that is 880. So first let's start with 12-tone. So 12-tone is a pretty easy formula. Let's add note numbers. It just makes things a little easier. Okay, so then what you want to do is take 440 times 2 to the note number over 12. We want to lock 440 in place, so we put little dollar signs there. Something is not right there. It's because these should be in parentheses. Okay, so now we have 12-tone. So now 3-limit, we can only use up to the 3rd harmonic, which is a 5th. So we can use octaves and we can use fifths. So we're going to use this column for our ratio. So this is 1. This is 2. Everything else has to be between 1 and 2. So let's start going up a 5th. That is 3 over 2. That is not correct. Let's fix that. Okay, it's giving us mixed numbers. If we decrease by 3 over 2, we'll get a D. So that'll be 1 divided by 3 over 2. The problem is that is not between 1 and 2, so we have to take the whole thing, multiply it by 2. We could just do 3 over 4, and there that is. Okay, so we can keep going. So we have E. Now we can move up a 5th to B. So B is this times 3 over 2. That again is more than 2, so we divide by 2, 1 and 1/8. So 9/8. So now we go up from the B to an F sharp. So same thing, we take that times 3 over 2. And let's just write out our circle of fifths. Eventually, these are going to loop back where our fourths and our fifths are going to meet. I think it should meet at a D sharp. And then let's just write out the number of fifths and fourths. Okay, so right now we're up to, we have F sharp, let's do C sharp. Okay, so now we're at the final one. We have this D sharp, E flat. Now what's going to happen here is we can go either a 5th above a G sharp, which is that times 3 over 2. And then we got to divide it by 2 because it's an octave above. Or we can go a 4th under A flat. So you can see that we have a discrepancy. We have 2 notes, well, 1 note with 2 different tunings. So when we do this, we're just going to ignore that and kind of skip that note. So here is 3-limit tuning. So 5-limit is the same deal, but we add thirds. So now we can use thirds as well. So A, C sharp, we can go down a 5th to an F. And then we got fifths, so we got A, E. Actually, let's keep it consistent. So it would be F and then C sharp. Then here it would be E, then B. The goal is to do the least number of maneuvers. So then we have our fifths. We also want to do these fifths with thirds. So E, we go down a 3rd to a C. We go up to a G sharp. Here we have D. We go up to an F sharp. And we go down to a B flat, which is an A sharp. I don't think we have every note yet, so we got to keep looking. But we got this, so we don't need to do 2 more fifths when we could just do 1/3. Same for this. But so now we have B, we have G. So this can get us to B, which we already have, so we don't use it. And E flat, which is a D sharp, which we remember is our problem interval from last time. B can also take us to a D sharp or a G. But okay, so let's start figuring this out. So we have 1, we have 2, Let's figure out our easy ones first. So from A, we can do 1 times 5/4. We can go down a third as well, and that brings us to an F. Our fifth is going to be the same thing, as is our fourth. And then here, again, we have 2 different ways of reaching it. We can go down a third from G, or we can go up a third from B. So now our 2 different values are a little closer to each other, but they're still inconsistent. And now we have 5-limit tuning, as well as 3-limit and 12-tone equal temperament. So let's copy this chart. So since our logarithmic, so the way we want to do this is, it's a little complicated. Let's try to figure it out. We have frequency 1, we have frequency 2. 2 to the n over 1200 is a difference in cents. F2 equals F1 times 2 to the n over 1200, F2 over F1. Let's put that into a log. And now we have n over 1200. Let's take 1200 times this, and that should give us n in cents. So we want to do log. Let's do that over this, base 2 times 1200. Okay, and then same thing here. This over here, whole thing in a log to the base 2 times 1200. And there's our differences in cents. So you can see this is sharper than our 12-tone, this is flatter than our 12-tone, and that's reflected in the cent differential. So we can see where the really out of tune notes are. So let's find the ones that are, we want to get rid of this because this has 2 values. Let's find something that's really out of tune. The most out of tune here is 15. The most out of tune here, these are all decently close. So now I'm going to go over to the quantum. I'm going to apply some of these tunings, and let's just hear what sounds out of tune, what sounds in tune. Let's just try it out.